Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video where I have new glasses. I think they look fine. Hopefully they make me play better. I do feel like I've been better in the game recently. I'm smiling, if you can't tell. We're having a bit of a happy time on the game right now. We just played a phenomenal weekend league. We've got the squad in the background here. I'll show the tactics off real quick, and then I want to get into the best game, well, the most difficult. Not really the best. The most important, the most difficult game we just had from this weekend league. Spoilers, if you've not seen the previous game, we'll spoil the result. It's already it's partially spoiled in the top corner there. But we did get our first 15-0 this weekend. Just one account. As I'm recording this, I've only played the one account. We of course do 2 per weekend, but very, very proud of this. We played super well. We struggled through everything. Of course, this was the weekend for the guaranteed, and I'm not going to spoil the rewards. But this was a very, very difficult weekend because everyone was playing as hard as they could for the guaranteed Bellingham or Proteus packs. So, got the team in the background. I'll show off the tactics real quick, and then I want to cover the most difficult game we faced. Involved a lot of composure for me. I don't want to spoil anything with the results there either, but a very, very tough game. Kind of a funny game too. So we've got some stuff to cover. Let me see here. So these are the tactics. I've used these for about a week or two. I do plan on putting out a video on just how to use these upcoming, so look forward to that. But yeah, if you've been watching the channel, you probably have seen me use these by now and show off that tactics code and all. We're just going back and taking a look at the live stream. A couple of you have commented that you don't like my drawing tool. The problem is it pauses and then I have to escape to leave it, and then it backs all the way out. I feel bad, but there's not really anything I can do. I looked through the shortcuts and I can't assign like backing out of the thing unless I didn't try to alt tab. Can I like alt tab back in? That's technically smoother. So we could try, if I remember, just alt tabbing back in. That might be a little bit easier to watch. We'll try to remember that. We are loading in here against Football Club. Beautiful name there. And they have, get this, also a 4-3-3-2. Absolutely wild. So we're taking a look at, they've done the Musiala, A Star Is Born, Evo, and Bergval. That card was disgusting. That was a very scary card. It's a full 5-star skills front line. One of the midfielders is 5-star. They've got a strong back line with Van de Ven Evo, with Jockey Plus, Saliba, icons and brought like this. I mean, obviously Usman and Hansen. This is a team, and you're thinking, I've just played a full weekend of 4-4-1-1s and 4-5-1s. We're coming up against another 4-3-3-2. And I have to say, the toughest game of the whole weekend came against the formation that I'm using, also a 4-3-3-2. So either there's something to this formation that's really, really strong, and if this doesn't recommend this formation to all of you, I don't know what will. I gotta pause here. This is going to be tough because this is a long game. It's like 20 minutes we got to get through, and I don't want to pause at every single instance, but there's a lot to cover. But I'll do my best to go through this quickly. But yeah, obviously, so like, if this doesn't recommend the 4-3-3-2 to you, that I beat it, but it was the hardest game I played the whole weekend, I don't know what's going to recommend the formation to you. But also, this guy was good. So we're starting off, touchline off the kickoff, into a ball roll scoop. Obviously, there's another ball roll scoop. That's a skill move I actually really haven't used this year. I thought that Elastica was into me. Now he's doing this. This is so effective. It's so infuriating to face, but I gotta remember to do it too. And I do it normally passing instead of sprinting back. But just watch what happens with my defensive line here. So we've got, like, I'm not intending to do this. It's just off kickoff. They've all dropped. Everyone dropped but Foden. Even my forwards are kind of further back than they usually would be. They'll just kick off stuff, right? We've got this line, which is really tough for the opponent to get through. I mean, there's so many defenders here, right? But you watch as my midfielders are basically, like, entangled with my back line. And now there's so much more space. So they just sprint backwards. They encourage my team out of position. And now all of a sudden there's all the space for them to work in. We get a little bit lucky there with Khan. Good save. He does sprint on through. It's just moments like this are what's strong this year. Because there's so many things you got to cover. He could go back up to Bergval. I don't know if that's the pronunciation on the center mid. This could be a skill move, a pass back inside. This could be a finesse far post, could shoot near post. And I'm glad that we have a year that multiple things are effective. So it definitely makes defending more engaging at times, right? Obviously, if you're just letting the AI do it, like this guy's looking like a menace to start, right? Got the L1 stop into an Elastico, which is one of the strongest skills in the game. Do good our sprint on through. And the pass on over is completed, but the first touch is so bad. I thought that would get out of Foden's foot better. We had a chance on our first attack to go ahead and score. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad that the offense is strong this year, that there's multiple things you can do. That definitely makes, again, attacking more engaging. Oh, Koundé's weak foot does get blocked. Of course, the opponent tried 2 short corners by now. We're trying our own. Just what this game is. That's what FC26 is. Yeah, it's nice that there's multiple ways to attack, but it's also like, on defense, what are you supposed to do when they've got like 3 different things and you got to cover all of them? Then you are. It is hard, but it's also how this game should pretty much be coded. So this is annoying, and look, it's another ball roll scoop. So I'm starting to get frustrated already. It's like, really, you've done... He just sprints like 50 yards up the pitch. There's another ball roll scoop. I'm thinking, this guy's a demon, but I'm already... It gets really annoying for me as a defender to defend the same thing over and over and over again. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm tired of it already. Do something else on offense. And I'm trying to defend it. I know what he's doing. He's shown me what he's going to do, and he keeps doing it, so I know. And I'm trying to defend it, and we just, like, I feel like I'm doing it right, and we keep failing. That's additionally disheartening, disappointing. All right, so 15 minutes in, game's been back and forth. This guy's definitely had the better of the chances so far. And you'll notice pretty much all of his chances are coming from this, so we're trying to do it too. This is something I realized this weekend. If I play somebody who's honest, and, like, I don't want to be, like, mean to this guy. Like, he's doing skill moves. You don't see many people even try that this year. He's got a skilled team. Oh, Grealish. I was hoping for some goalie movement. I think did get saved there. No goalie movement. He's got that whole 5-star skill front line. Like, he's trying something. He's got some high-skilled players. Bergvall's a fun card. Pedri in the midfield. It's not your typical, like... I don't know, man. The back line kind of is. It's that really tough back line. And here we go. Another sprint down the wing. And there goes Kvaratskhelia. What's going to happen? It's another ball roll scoop. Ah, man. And then you just get in this situation. Thank you, Koundé. But then that's the spot where it's just so effective with that cutback, right? So it's been really tough to defend so far. But yeah, I appreciate this guy's using a more skilled formation. Is trying, you know, at least for some of the attacks to do some more skilled stuff. And you'll see Bergvall. Some step overs there into the turn and then right into the Elastico. So powerful. Gets through my whole back line. I was disappointed. Felt a little hard done by. I'm close to defending that. I've got a couple players on on his back. I'm just not anticipating that with Mariona and then Koundé. Like, I'm so close and he splits them. So it's a good move from them. I still feel hard done by. Like, surrounded by 3. It's a bit jammy. Because it's 50-50 whether Mariona walks into that space or not. So... like, it's well done, but he's also kind of doing it and hoping it, and that's where it's frustrating for me. It's like, you did that without knowing it would work, and so it's just kind of again, you're putting the game, just putting it in the game's hands and hoping. But, I mean, that happens with skill moves sometimes. I did my own skill move tier list, right, of explosive and possessive-based skill moves and all that, and sometimes the explosive ones do have that risk. You know, you're not positive, and you're just doing it. You might have run out of other options, and so that's kind of all you've got. But yeah, he does get on through with the Elastico, and again, like, I get frustrated in the game a little bit itself, but I'm keeping my cool. I'm going, we're 10-0. We've got every chance for 15. We gotta stay cool, stay calm, stay collected. This guy's been all over us on offense. So the other thing, while staying calm, like, we also got to make sure that we're doing everything we can to find out what to do on the offense to change things around. Because I'm like, okay, what I'm doing isn't working. Gotta stay calm and also find my flow, find what's going to be effective against this guy. And kind of, I started to talk about this earlier and then I stopped. When you come up against somebody who's so willing to do the, oh, we're so close there. So willing to do the down the wing every time. Here we get, you know, it's just the, you've got to cover 2, this is what I mean, right? Like, you got to cover 2 things at once. Like, I got to cover the center mid, because if I don't do anything about the center mid, if I don't cover him at all, then he just gets, again, to sprint down the pitch for like 30 yards, and that's way too much free space. But if I go to cover him, then the winger's just open. It's really fraught. It's hard to do. And then look, another ball roll scoop. So I'm, again, a little frustrated. With it's back there, we're really close to getting some of those tackles. AI just won't stay in position for you where you need. Gets on through. I think we just about, it's the AI track back from behind that gets it for me. But yeah, since he's so willing to go down the wing every single time, let me finish this thought. He's willing to go down the wing every time. I also have to, because I know I'm going to concede. Well, I've already conceded, but I'm going to concede more in this match. It's a high-scoring year. FC 26, we all know, these are some... Frequently, you get, like, high-scoring games, 6-6, 6-5, the 12 goals a game, give or take, can be fairly common. So I'm going, if he's going to do the down the wing and just have this much success against me, I'm also going to have to do the same thing. I don't want to. I want it to be a little... Yeah. I want to feel like I'm beating this guy with a little bit more skill-based stuff, like down the center. But like, if he's going to have this success and get so many attacks against me, I also have to make sure I'm going down the pitch and getting my success too. This feels hard done by as well. I'm really close to getting this one. The tackle is timed a little late. Here's where the tackle input is. So I get that it missed. But I do feel a little bit bad that... I'm so close there. Kunde's jockey, just a little bit missed possession. The blocked shot just fails as well. He tries a first touch instead of any kind of clearance. It's tough. So now we're looking, okay, we're down 2-0. And yeah, he's gotten some good goals. I've been close to defending both of them, and that's where it just feels a little hard done by. I've been close. There's not really another button I could have pressed. It's not like I could press circle better to make the tackle. I could have aimed or positioned a little bit differently previously. Here he is down my wing again. So what I mean, it's a fraught game. He's got really strong attacks against us. Gets on through for a third time. Lucky on the block. Thank you, Kunde. Not good defending for me in that instance. We should cover this really briefly. So much space for... But again, like, you can go touchline or you can cut back. So it's hard. You've got so many things to defend. But I leave that space too much. I would kind of assume Marquinhos would track back. But I think manually I just need to make sure I'm putting him back into position. And I step up too much with Busquets. That's not where the dangerous area is. The danger's not, like, on him. The danger's back here, and I should be making sure I'm still covering that. So poor recognition from me. Lucky with Kunde. He does have the quick step base. The jockey plus can help him get on over sometimes, and then we're just penned in. Use the ball there. He's going to possess it well with Busquets. That's what Busquets is so good for, right? Absolute massive card this week. Yeah, we're just, it's like every time. He's getting into my box every single attack. It's so tough. Take advantage of Campos's base long ball. I do remember he's got that play style and try to use it with him sometimes. We'll just take James, down the wing. We try cut back there. It's the 46. I'm thinking we might as well get an effort. Okay, going down at 2-0 at halftime. It's tough. And this guy's like, I feel like there's not much more I could have done on the 2 I conceded. But again, he's been in my box every single time, so we were going to concede a couple in this game. It's been a good game from him. I'm frustrated myself, but it has been a good game from the opponent, right? So we're thinking second half, we got to change something, I'm like anxious living this one again, because like this game itself was so, like, I had to pay so much attention, be so engaged, make sure I'm not, and it's just like, there goes the press. He's a good defender as well. He knows kind of how this game, you can tell this guy knows how this game works, right? Campos here, what can we get done? I just kind of want to make sure I get something from this attack, hoping for goalie movement once again, unsuccessful at the near post. It's twice now I've looked at the near post shot and the opponent hasn't moved the goalie far post, so that's a little tough. Van de Ven wins it from the back, and no. Obviously, Mickey Van de Ven has, I think it's the highest top speed ever recorded in the Premier League. What a pass back there, too. Oh, and we're fraught again, but the touches are a little bit too heavy from Usman, so we are able to win that back. Unfortunately, Mickey Van de Ven is back in a position, and successful on defense and offense interactions there from him. What an Evo that card must be. Again, I'm planning on doing it on St. Just for another pacey center back, but the pace on the center backs is so vital. That's offside. That's crucial. Very lucky to just have the timing be a little bit off there as well. We're taking advantage of Mariano's Tiki-Taka Plus there. Off to Busquets Tiki Plus as well. Foden, again, I'm just kind of thinking, I've got to get something from this attack, and so I'm really close. We're trying to get on through, but I want to make sure no matter what, this results in a shot. I don't want to, like, risk anything. Looking for the near post again. Again, he hasn't moved it. So 3 really good chances, and sometimes those go in anyway, but no, he's been solid about not moving that keeper, right? So eventually I've got to start looking for a different finish. I know that. Oh, and Zambrata, oh, we're lucky to get that back. And then it's not where I'm aiming that from Grealish, so that one's disappointing. And off we go. This is what I talked about. These counters are so threatening. Like every time, and it's been happening for me a little bit too, although his press has been stronger. I don't know if he's got like, maybe his defensive line is set higher, like 80 or 90. Mine's at 60 for what it's worth. Yeah, it felt like it's so much harder to play through his press, so maybe I've got to look at my own line. I wish I could see like the opponent's tactics, you know. I've got Jordy moving up, take advantage of his Tiki Plus. And the Campos just about defended by Saliba. So he's been dropping back, Pedri on the run, and here you go. Every single time, it's like a threat from them. Luckily, the wrong decision made there, and I didn't switch to my center backs that time. AI is just better at interceptions. Campos, we do get the ball on through Mariona. Oh, okay, we make a good decision, and then we get super lucky. So this is fortunate. I do feel like my opponent's goals have been somewhat fortunate. This one's pretty darn fortunate, though, through Van de Ven, and I'm not quite sure what happened. I kind of want to see. I guess it's just past Khan. Just past Van de Ven. I feel like it glances off him, because I feel like the ball trajectory changes. It definitely bounces off someone, but as I'm watching it in slow-mo, it's really hard to tell. I feel like this was well done. We do get lucky on the shot, though. Van de Ven's AI almost just moves him in the way of it, but luckily Vitinha does find the back of the net for us. I did try Mariona at center mid, but she's average and short for the body type, and... hold on. Yeah, average and short for the body type, whereas Vitinha's lean medium, and I just prefer the lean body types. I just really do. Good tackle there from Jordy. Did I... Hold on real quick. That's an R1 tap. You might just be able to see it here. That's R1 circle, and that makes it a heavy tackle. Instead of just circle and normal stand tackle, that's like a heavy stand tackle. So lucky to do, well, good decision to do the R1 and circle to get the heavy touch there. Got Vitinha, a good chance. Unfortunately, the AI is in the way that time. Mickey Van de Ven's AI gets the block. AI also, again this year, really, really strong at making blocking shots. This guy, again, a little bit frustrating. He's gone down the wing. Thank you, Khan. Don't know why he's looping the throw, so we do lose that out. But lucky that Pedro, even with the first touch plus, did not have that successful of a first touch. That one again. Not great defending, but also forced him into a tough spot, so we do come away with it in the end. Little give and go, and I think this was a big... Yeah, I don't quite have the timing. But there's Campos, and this is how this year works, right? If you want to get your goals, you want to stretch, the game out a little bit. We try the fake shot, unsuccessful. But the L1, you see he did it there with Usman, and now I've got like multiple things to cover here as well. Hansen is going to successfully turn. That one felt hard done by. Luckily, I've tracked James back. Knowing I've pulled out the keeper, I'm just going to sprint with him back to the goal. But this one, like, intercept plus Marquinhos, and that just... It looked like it goes through his foot again. So this is where I'm like, I just feel, again, like, unlucky this match. Yeah, that looks like it passes through his foot, doesn't it? Are we not on max quality, by the way? Let's make sure it's forced to be. But anyway. Good decision to track back there and block the shot. But again, I feel hard done by. So a couple things this match are just like, come on, let me get something done. Or just give me one of these bounces, right? It's a good opponent, like I say. We're down by 1 here at the end. We've got to make sure we are successfully... Well, not success. I've got to force the game. It's a little bit stretched. I'm only going to have like 2 more attacks, right? So no matter what, making sure that I'm trying to rush and get the ball back quickly. And so that's why a couple of these defensive interactions not been super successful. This is lucky. This is... The opponent probably won't know it. You can see the amount of power I put in this one. Go back. That's meant for Foden. I'm trying to get this through to Foden. Somehow it gets past Saliba, maybe just because, like, the timing is wrong for the opponent and he manually switches to Saliba just there, maybe unintentionally. But somehow this gets through, both aiming to the wrong player and close to the center back who doesn't lock on. And that Tiki gets us on through. Campos with the turn, Vitinha on the weak foot. So massive to get this goal on back with some luck. The pass going to the wrong player. Jordy, of course, has the Tiki plus, so he's going to make that. But then Foden on the weak foot Campos on the turn, and then his low passing stats, 78 short pass, and no ticky or anything. Not exactly the player you want making that turnaround, but it's into a lot of open space. He should be able to. He does have 88 vision, so that does help sometimes. Let's turn my camera off. You can see my little celebration there in the corner. Do the finger waggle. That's my real life celebration, since I don't celebrate in game for the it's Messi's thing, right? It's also a shout out to, and we're gonna have to cover this one. It's a shout out to Japes, who was Japes, who always said, "Welcome to the chip life." Air Japes, the I guess my favorite FIFA YouTuber, although he hasn't uploaded for so many years now. Yeah, he's kind of who I emulate my style after the most, I guess you could say. This one, it's tracked. We get this from Busquets. I don't know if the opponent's intending this to go to who's making the run through, Bergvall, or if that's probably intended to go to Kvaratskhelia instead. Get it, Busquets, Tiki, gets it back to James. I feel so hard done by that first touch. I know it's Reece James. Not perfect body type, not first touch play style, not high dribbling stats. I also know that I'm aiming up left here, but I switch to up right, like just before the touch is taken. See the upright inputs happening around here. Game doesn't register that in time, and I know it's like a fraction of a second until the next input has happened, so it's got to lock in at some point. So I understand being locked into the first touch this way, but it's so heavy. He's so emphasized. He can't just take a touch and like stand up straight. He takes the touch and like kind of leans over the ball, if that makes sense. Really unfortunate. Great finish from Kvaratskhelia, far post. And off the post and all. So I'm going, we just got the goal. We conceded from kickoff, and not just any kickoff, but a successful interception that just ends up with the something unfortunate. Again, like, did the opponent do anything wrong? No. Oh, Grealish have been scoring those all day for me. Unsuccessfully able to put that away. And you see here, Grealish and Foden are exhausted, right? I press to go into team management and kicks me out. So we've still got that glitch EA where I'm unable to substitute my players with Grealish and Foden like exhausted, 40-30% stamina or something. I just have to play with them the rest of the match. So there's no subs to be had. Really frustrating there. Yeah, you've got to fix that the team management glitch. We tried with our own kickoff, but it feels unfortunate. Like, again, the opponent did okay, but they also get really lucky. It's not their fault, but I do feel hard done in this match, and we've had a couple good chances. If the opponent just did a little goalie movement or anything, this game could easily be the other way. Great tackle there from Sergio. I think Bergvall's tired, so it's maybe a little easier to make that tackle on him. Yeah, the first touch, I'm not intending that to turn towards the defense, so unfortunately the opponent's able to make that one there. Campos with the good body type and first touch base play style. And 88 dribbling with a finisher to give him like 93 dribbling. I do sometimes wish that first touch was better. The first touches this year are just really fraught. They're inconsistent, they're heavy. So we're thinking, okay, 89th minute. I'm sending Jordy on a run, and now we've got this overload, right? These are where the game's so difficult, it's so strong. You'll see the L1 input on Jordy here. Sends him all the way forward, and I'm thinking we've just got to get that overload. Foden, Campos, Grealish, and Alba. This is my stronger side, in my opinion, with the fullback, at least with Jordy, and I figure I'm going to need an additional player on offense, so if it's going to be anyone, it should be Jordy rather than Reece James. So we're looking to go down this side. Mariano with some clutch left stick dribbling, and we get the 3-3 in the 91st, right? So draw to bring us into extra time. Here's the run from Jordy. Smart of him to come back. He does that on his own against the offside trap. Opponents in that situation, I talked about in the first half. Well, you can't give Grealish infinite space here. You've got to close him down. Otherwise, I just run with him all the way forward. But obviously, that opens up Alba in the wing. And then Tiki Plus, he's always able to get that to work. We go into Vitinha. Luckily, he uses his right foot instead of his left. Because if this is the 3-star weak foot, this might be a more difficult pass. But he does have Tiki base, so we can make that into Foden, who, again, uses his left instead of his right. So, luckily, they're prioritizing the right foot. They laid off really well. Passes are coming off nicely, even with the low stamina and everything. And a nice little turn. I think if he keeps with Van de Ven, he's maybe got a better chance to use that jockey plus. But because he switches off of him, it's the last time we'll watch it. Switches off and the AI doesn't follow, and sometimes the AI does. So it might be a little unlucky on his end, but I do. Very fortunately, but also well done. Like, I'm doing specific things to try to get that final attack to be super effective. We'll send Jordy forward, and it's the final attack. We get countered. It doesn't matter. So it's well done for me. Also, the opponent, there's not really much you could do. He's close to getting it a couple times. Sometimes the AI is just in the right position, or it isn't. It can be as simple as that. Like you guard. Oh yeah, you can guard the cutbacks a billion times, but then 1,000,000,001, you get that one instance where the AI is just not in the right spot. And this is where 4.9 to 2.1 XG, and I'm thinking that's a little bit hard done by. I think 2.1 is a little bit low for what he's done. His 3 goals have been pretty decent scoring opportunities. Kvaratskhelia probably does go in near a far post a decent amount of the time. Usman shoots it. Marquinhos almost blocks it, but that's still a high XG chance. The other one, Bergvall, that one's probably almost always going in. So he probably deserves better than 2.1 XG. I'm surprised his count is that low. But me at 4.9, again, like a couple of the near posts that are just unlucky and all that. We're really struggling off the kickoff as well. What a slide. Slides are so powerful this year. Yeah, I'm thinking like, this is where you start to go. I really kind of should be in the front of this game. This guy, if he does what I did with Mariona, cuts back the other way, he scores. We get lucky. The slide travels so far. He just walks into it. So yeah, we'll take that. So 3-3, 92nd minute. Luckily defended the kickoff. It was close. Oh, Grealish unable to make that. Campos with the interception though. Now we've got and he's starting to get aggressive. You might see this. I don't feel like he was doing that in the first half, and I've kind of noticed myself. He pulled Llorente a little bit more out of position there, so he's got his own aggression. Maybe he's being tired. I also want to point out, you haven't been seeing the same skill moves. He's relying on down the wing again. That's another clutch slide tackle decision for me from Marquinhos. What an interception again. But now we've got a difficult short corner, as always with this guy. Thank you. Thankfully, he passes it to Foden for me. Probably do a give and go here. No, we swap the play. Again, Campos, not the passing stats, but he does have the play style for it. Vitinha gets a little held up. I thought he might have that run, but I probably shouldn't be risking that, considering how good this guy is every time he gets in my half. Yeah, he's stopped with and that's a poor decision from him. So he's a little more aggressive. He's not deciding well. Maybe he's frustrated. It's overtime, but also at the end of the match, he seemed to start doing that as a little bit too. I'm not quite sure where it's coming from him. Maybe he's just like tired or something, or It is tough to play this game like at 100% focus every time. Lucky there. Speaking of his focus, we take advantage of it. There's our first decent little dribble of maybe the whole game, I'd really say. He gets caught in this. Maybe he's holding L1 or something, because he gets caught in this like strafe dribble, it looks like. It just makes it so easy to tackle. So maybe unfortunate for him there. Potentially not a button he's meaning to press. But this from Campos is clutch. This is like, you turn away, back into him. You see that? It encourages the opponent to follow me back the other way. You open up the space, you just move right back on into it. That's a very, very good goal. Off of, again, a bit of luck. So the difference here is the one where I conceded with James. I don't feel like there was much else I could have done about it. Maybe just hit clearance or something. But this one, he had time. He could have made a pass or something, so I don't feel as bad about this one. But again, the game's a little bit back and forth, and that happens with FIFAs, right? It's like, well, a little unfortunate there. He gets seen maybe caught in this animation. Doesn't react in time to pass out of it or anything. But then again, like a couple of mine, Marquinhos could have blocked the shot, This one, like, I don't know if this is EA making it fair. Like going, oh, he got tackled from his fullback on the other end, so we're going to make your fullback a little bit worse or something like that, right? I feel really hard done, because Koundé's really close to this. Like, really close. I wonder if I can actually... Oh, wow. Sorry, chat. Surprise. It looks like it might be going through his foot, right? You can't see with the pixels. But it kind of looks like it might be... No, I full screened it. It might kind of be going through his foot there. This is a little bit tough. And then James, just like out-muscled. I feel hard done by here. I think I do... Yeah, I press X for Bruiser, and I just lose out. And he's got Bruiser base, James does, so... Obviously, Chewinga's in front, but, like, the ball's right there. Like, if he sticks his foot out at all, or does the Bruiser right, then, this is my ball, and this is where it just... it feels really, again, hard done by. So he does end up scoring there off the little bit off balance as well. Puts that away with Chewinga. It's like, come on. I just scored mine, and we have to concede immediately off kickoff when I was so close to defending it. And then I'm frustrated. I mess up my own pass off kickoff, and here we are. Are we going to concede again? This would be super frustrating. So you can see, like, super exciting game, though. I imagine everyone in the chat who was watching this live was, like, super invested in this match, because look at it. I mean, it's a battle. It's a battle of the 4-3-3-2s as well. Like, you actually get to watch somebody do something that isn't just 4-5-1, through ball L1 spam where you're just trying to send players on run every single time. So it was a fun game. Absolutely a fun game. Just, again, and I can't make subs. Look how tired Foden is. He's so exhausted. I've got Pedri on the bench, I think is who I would bring in, but it's so unfortunate there, right? Yeah, you've got to fix that glitch. It's such a simple thing to open the team management menu, and we've had this game over a month now, and that's still a glitch. And I think it's only a glitch on PC. How hard is that to fix, man? We lose the ball there from behind. Bergvall onto Chewinga, who I think makes that pass through. Bellingham. This one. It's again, like, for me having 4.1 XG or 4.9 XG, or 3.9 it might have been, I forget. And then the guy going up the other end of the pitch. Oliver Kahn. The ball is right there in your mid-drift. You just put your hand on top of it and you've got it. And he doesn't. He's stuck in whatever other animation. Man, to actually concede this is tough. And it's a little lucky that, like, Bellingham has to hop over. But then the hop works, right? So it felt lucky. It's like, it's actually going to work for me. He decided to hop instead of go down for the pen, which is always kind of annoying in FIFA. It's like, I didn't decide to hop. Just let me get the foul. We go up through, and Mariano with the turns, unsuccessful. We get it back. Ball's in the air somehow off the first time pass. We try to get through. Just nope, unsuccessful there again. So we're thinking, you know what? I probably got to go down the wing like I did to get the goal for the, was it the 91st minute, right? It's probably going to have to be down the... Yeah, that's the wrong decision there. So everything from here, I think, has got to be down the wing. But a little, like, the guy could have had a pen there, so lucky. But then Khan just doesn't stick his foot out, so it's unlucky. This is maybe lucky. I don't know if he, misaimed it that much, but that could have been a goal for him too. So just super up and down. And again, I feel like I played really well here. I don't feel like this is a deserved loss, although this guy has been probably having more chances for most of the match, I would say, even if I'm getting better shots off. There, crucial. We get that back. So 115th, we've tied it. This is the power of the L1 runs. We center forward. There's Vitinho with incisive base. Great passing stats and all that, right? There's Tiki Plus. A little bit of, I think that's just sprinting with Foden. And then Grealish. This doesn't always happen with the wingers. This is the one thing about this formation where I wish they did this more. But I guess because Campos dropped way off. Where's Campos here? Campos is, like, where I'd expect the center mids to be. So maybe because players rotated around, it opens up that much space for Grealish. But he does successfully make that run. They don't always, but I'm very glad he did there. Low stamina and everything too. So great run. That does get defended. Just get that back with Koundé. Good decision, good read. Great ball out by Busquets there. And there's the... I might need to make a video on that. That's L2 R1 for a precision swerve pass. See, that pass came out with a lot of power, and it was a great first touch from Mariano too. So those are super effective. 118th. Taking advantage of a couple of the Tiki playstyles. Again, I just want to make sure we're going to get something from this move, right? It's got to be something, no matter what. Unsuccessful. Unfortunately, like, I'm really close there. Then he gets super aggressive and Foden. Wild. I can't believe he gets this. His stamina, like 40 stamina. I guess it's just because Chewinga making that pass didn't have the passing playstyle. And it's funny enough, and I never do these. Another L1 triangle, right? It was an L1 triangle from Grealish to Alba to get in the 91st. And now it's Foden to Grealish. We're doing a similar cut. It's the effectiveness of the left wing, the turnaround, the first time pass, the goal, and 123rd. So we've gone from 100. We scored in the 91st to tie it to bring it to extra time. And then we scored in the 123rd to win it. And that's just the composure. Something with the opponent just being too aggressive, pulls out the fullback. Not enough coverage from the center mids, not recognizing that. Here's Foden. Turnaround pass. That one's, I think, is pretty fortunate. You know, weak foot and all. And then Campos. Also kind of fortunate with, as we talked about, his passing stats. Mariano, 91 finishing. Slams that home. We do get the near post finish, finally. Is this a deserved win? That's hard to say because my chances have been, like, I've been clinical with mine. I've gotten in the box really well, and I've scored a lot of, like, really close to the keeper opportunities. But the opponent, I think, has probably been a little bit more dangerous this game. So I feel like we're lucky to come away with this one. That said, if there's anything to take away from it, if your opponent's doing the really tough to defend things, you also have to do it. So you've got to use the wing. You see, like I was talking about in the first half, the through ball down the wing, we get the cutback. This is how we scored our two most important goals this game, right? Through ball down the wing to the cutback to the center mids there. Able to get the balls on through, that's where the cutbacks work. So if the opponent's going to be doing them super effective with their counters and, you know, the cutbacks and all, then you've got to do it too. I think if you're just going to be like, oh, you're going to concede 5 no matter what this match, you've got to do the nonsense to score your own 6. So I think I was composed. I think I stayed truer to my playstyle, and maybe that's why I won. That's why I'm proud of how this worked. Even if I was a little bit behind this game, even if we're kind of matched in skill, and he did potentially deserve to win this game especially at certain situations, I think I played the game more consistently well. I think I stayed true to my playstyle. I did what I'm good at. There's this guy you saw so many ball roll scoops in the first half and then just stopped. Like we saw maybe 1 in the second half. He just stopped doing them. He stopped, you know, doing what worked for him and didn't stay with his playstyle. I don't know if he got like less composure or was just tired from the game or stopped focusing. Whereas I'm keeping, and this is easier when you're behind for sure. But I kept my focus, I kept my drive, I kept my playstyle and everything, and just battened down the hatches and was as focused as I can. So I'm really proud of this game. I think this was a good win. You can't say it's necessarily deserved, but you can't say it's not deserved either. So I wanted to put this video out there. Hopefully you have been able to learn something from it. If not, you've just enjoyed my commentary in the background. But yeah, we should call it here. 37 minutes spent on one game might be a little bit excessive. So if you are still here, thank you. But if you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, I hope you did. And I'll catch you in the next one here. Take it easy. Peace.